been living in this incredible 2017 Mercedes G-Wagon for the last 2 weeks traveling through Iceland, and today we thought we would give you a full van tour, starting with the kitchen, then do the bedroom, the bathroom, and then we will show you what this car is really made for, and that is driving through rivers. Hi, I'm Dana, and my husband Lou is behind the camera filming right now, and today we wanted to show you the 2017 Mercedes G-Wagon that we've been living in for the last 2 weeks while we've toured Iceland. And you might be thinking this doesn't look like a G-Wagon, and that's because this G-Wagon has been transformed into an incredible off-roading machine.
So the story begins with a Mercedes-Benz G350D professional G-Wagon that my cousin Tim and his wife Rika bought. And then they hired the experts at Off-Road Center in Germany to cut their brand new car in half, remove the back, and extend the chassis to a wheelbase length not available in Germany. Next, they upgraded the suspension and attached a carbon cabin on the back with modular aluminum frame shelving.
And they also moved all the electronics up, added a snorkel, and did so many crazy things that this vehicle can go through rivers, snow, blizzards, survive hurricanes. It really is a machine built for adventure. And so I thought we would show you the interior first. So the kitchen here is really different than other vans, at least the ones I've ever experienced. And that is because there is no gas, no propane, nothing like that. It's all electric. And that's because we have a 2-burner induction stovetop over here. And then we have an 180 amp hour battery and a 3000 watt inverter, plus 2 solar panels on the top of the car, but the battery can be charged when the van is driving. So that's really helpful, and we haven't actually had any power issues, which has been incredible because we like to cook a lot. So this is the stovetop that I was telling you about. It's an induction stovetop with 2 burners. We opened all the windows so that it wouldn't get too oniony in here. And to turn it on, you actually have to turn on the inverter because we don't keep that on all the time because it sucks a lot of power. So then you come up here. To turn on the inverter, you go to the AC energy, then you go here, and then you click here. So in here we have induction pans, and you actually have to have special pans when you have an induction stovetop. So we've made a lot of yummy meals here, which has been really fun, but induction does take a little bit of getting used to. I'm not sure if the power is like completely even, but when you're making rice, make sure it doesn't burn on the bottom because it's very tricky. But otherwise, it's really fun, and it's nice that you don't have to worry about getting gas anywhere. You can always have power just by driving or the sun, and I feel like that's really nice when you are taking a car like this in all sorts of different places. You don't have to worry about ever finding gas. No matter where Lou and I are in the world, whether we're in a house or in a van, we spend a lot of time in the kitchen, and that's what was so fun about this because we had a tea kettle so we can make tea every morning. We made oatmeal, we made pasta.
Oh, thank you for dinner.
You're welcome. Basically, it's just been really fun to be here because the setup in the kitchen is really nice. You have a couch that you can sit on, a table that comes out so we can enjoy meals together, not like crouched over in bed or anything like that. So I feel like that's one of the biggest perks of this van is that when you're actually living in it, it's really comfortable to cook in. The induction works great. There's all the resources we need, and there's also a lot of storage. So you could go to the grocery store and really stock up. Here you have all of your spices and small little glasses for fancy drinks, plus normal glasses. It really is kitted, the van is kitted out with everything you could need. Plus plates, bowls, cutting board, knives, everything. And then the part that I like the most, because Lou and I do like to cook a lot, is that there's so much storage for your actual food. So you can get like rice, dried oats, all the things like the staples that we eat. We stocked the van, and I think we only went to the grocery store twice in our whole time in Iceland, which is incredible because we cook all of our own meals. But we could really just pack the van full of canned beans, rice, oats, and we were set, which was really, really nice treat because when you're going off-roading, you're going into the middle of nowhere basically, and there's not grocery stores there, so you can get kind of like you could really get yourself in a predicament if you were going super out into the middle of nowhere and didn't have any groceries. So this car, you can really stock up. Not only on grocery store, you have a 80-liter water tank as well. Plus it also has storage for a lot of tools. Like this has everything you need if you got stuck, like winch and ropes and metal chains. It has air compressor, so you can actually inflate and deflate your tires completely on your own, just using the power of the engine and this little machine. It has a satellite phone, and it has all the first aid things that you would need as well. It has a fire extinguisher. It has a, like, I'm trying to think, it just has so many things. Every time we opened up different drawers in the van, we were shocked at how prepared this van is for adventure. There's also incredible outdoor storage, which has been really helpful. Here you can clean the car. The other thing is that all of his outdoor things have locks on them in case you were in a place where you felt like you needed to lock your stuff. There's a hose. There's so much stuff. But at this level, when you're driving through a river, it could get wet. But if it's just hoses and stuff to clean the car, it's not a big deal. So this van has 2 bed options, and we used both of them during our time in Iceland. When it's really windy, because in Iceland we somehow got caught in multiple hurricane level winds, we would sleep down here on the bottom. But if it's nice out, you sleep in the top because it's much more comfortable. Option 1, sleeping downstairs. To do that, you have to move the pillows. Ta-da! This is bed option number 1. It's very comfortable. Okay. Watch your head. Okay, so bed option number 2 means the ceiling comes down and you crawl up here. This is where we spent about half of the nights when we were traveling through Iceland. When it wasn't a crazy storm, we would sleep up here, and it's really, really nice. There's good airflow. I feel like it's like camping or something. Like you're in this pop tent and you really feel like you're part of nature. Whereas when you're in the bottom of it, it feels more like you're sleeping in a car. One of the things that's really nice about this pop tent is that it's not pitched. I feel like with a lot of cars that have pop tents, they come up like on an angle like that, but this one goes straight up, so it means that there's a lot of room. You can turn around like this, and it's worked out really nicely for us. Now I'm a little dizzy. So at first this van might seem like it doesn't have a bathroom, but it's actually hiding right in here. This is a porta potty that you can just bring with you. And Lou and I actually have never used one of these before this trip. In our van that we live in full time, we have a different kind of toilet. So it was definitely an experience to use this, but it turned out to be really, really easy. There's just these little blue tabs that you put in the water, and yeah. We used it mainly just for peeing in the middle of the night because in Iceland you can't wild camp at all. So we were at campsites every night that had bathrooms, but this is great in an emergency. One of the really cool things about this van is that you can raise the roof. I couldn't help, it's so corny, but you can raise the roof with these buttons. So when we first arrive at any location, the first thing we do is put the roof up. That makes it much easier to live in here. You're comfortable, you can stand up and not have to crouch over. And then before bed, you pull it down and then you can climb up and the bed is right there and it's already made. So Gregor even has a shower and can get hot water. You just have to turn on the hot water boiler when you're driving so it has time to heat up. I think it's about like half an hour. And then you can put out the shower, take a shower, and enjoy even privacy because it has a shower curtain. Woo! Oh, should just take a shower right now. I feel like if you were on a summer vacation trip, this would be incredible. Okay, so we just crawl to the front. Since this car only has the front 2 doors and the back door, we do a lot of crawling in this little section here, which works out fine. So now that we're in the cockpit of the van, I wanted to show you all of the different controls and systems that the van has to make it really capable of extreme situations. So let's pretend we're driving up to a river right now. Your heart is racing, but you're ready. This car is capable. All you have to do is put the car into neutral, then put on the low range, go back into drive. Now you're gonna keep driving closer to the river. You wanna put the differential one on. If it's a really, really deep river, maybe I would put the second one on as well. You also need to remember to turn the auto off button off, because you don't want the car just turning off in the middle of the river. That's actually the worst thing that could possibly happen, because if the engine gets turned off, the exhaust doesn't have hot air coming out of it, and then water can get in through the exhaust, break your whole car. So definitely auto off button must be turned off. What else? Then this is the other lesson I realized as we were driving through these rivers. I was so nervous the first time, I didn't realize I was driving way too fast. Luckily this car has the snorkel, so it didn't really matter because the first river we went through wasn't so high. But if you drive too fast, you can actually push the water into turning, like it turns into a wall and it can come up over the top of the car, and that is the worst thing to do. So when you drive in rivers, slow and steady wins the race. It might seem scary to go slow, but it actually is much safer for you and the car. So that is one thing that we learned. Oh, I forgot the funniest part.
Yeah.
When you get to a river, you send out your beautiful husband in waders. Waders are going back on.
Better safe than sorry.
And Lee would go out and see how deep the water was.
This is definitely our deepest water crossing so far.
Right?
But the ground is really nice. It's all like small rocks.
Okay, cool.
So it should be okay.
Let's do it.
Good luck.
It's just been really fun to have such a nice car to drive around. I feel really lucky, Lou.
Yeah, it was good.
It was a really, really fun adventure, and I don't know. It's just so nice to be in a car that you feel is so capable of doing anything you need, and also that is really comfortable.
Yeah, thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Tim. Really appreciate it. Sorry we were a little hard on it.